This year we have seen a lot of homebrew support for the PlayStation Vita, with one of the biggest additions being the new DSVita emulator. Created by Grarok, the new application was built and developed using passcode from many previous emulators, with some of the notable ones being Nudes and Melon DS. Both of these emulators are available on the Vita, but they cater to a wide range of systems, so most likely the Vita is not their #1 priority, which makes the addition of this new dedicated DSVita emulator a big deal because now we have an application that is solely focusing on the Vita. Yet the question still remains, at least for now, how good is the current emulation on DSVita? And well, that answer is a bit half and half, because while some games are playable, a lot of other ones aren't. So I wanted to show off a sample batch of games that I tested on the DS Vita to help show off what the emulator is currently able to do. But before I delve into that, there are two key things to remember with this emulator, with the first one being its use of ARM7 high-level emulation and how certain games can vary in performance depending on if that setting is enabled. On the GitHub discussion page, you can find a compatibility list that displays if ARM7 should be turned on, so if you're going to try this out yourself, this is something that's good to keep in mind. The other thing that you should remember with this emulator is that currently it struggles with 3D rendering, and just as of October 22nd, the creator has started implementing 3D tests, meaning games that require a lot of 3D models are probably going to struggle and might not work. With those two things in mind, I'm sure you now want to actually see how these games perform and what you can play on your Vita today, so I thought instead of just talking about it, it would be better to show you and display how these games currently run. To do this, I'm going to be using my PSTV, which is running to a splitter that is connected to my Elgato capture card. Now I had to use a splitter because the PSTV has an HDCP protection system, so using the splitter gets around that block signal. With this all set up, I was able to record every game here at their true frame rate while having the CPU overclocked at 500 MHz. So without further ado, I will stop talking and let's look at all the games. And so those are all the games I tested. When it came to choosing specific titles, I opted to go for ones that don't have much in terms of 3D graphics. I did my best to do a mixture of playable games outlined on the GitHub page, as well as notable titles that people tend to emulate. As shown by the results, the emulator is still very rough around the edges, and a lot of stuff is not really playable. Still, the progress that has been made with DSVita is a big step forward, especially when you look at past DS emulation on the Vita. So while it might not be what many currently expected, I'm optimistic that down the road this will become a lot more optimized, and I look forward to seeing what else the developer can put forward. Anyways, that is where I'm going to end this video off, at least for now. I'm curious what others think about the DS Vita, and I'd like to hear your thoughts about this project down in the comments below. I also want to give a huge thank you for watching this far, and I want to ask that you please subscribe if you like my kind of content. And well, with that said, I will see you very soon. Take care.